they stay the same. A all gravity, any evening above ground, live it. Hold on. Why are you not? Oh, so now all of a sudden this thing doesn't want me to put my screen on. That's crazy. Let me look. All right, there we go. Much better. Okay. Oh boy. So I saw a bunch of conservatives just now talking about Trump kept his promise and he passed the No Tax on Tips Act. And I said, okay, let me look. Because if you remember, last fall, I was arguing with a whole bunch of trolls and wannabe Trump supporters saying that this wasn't going to pass. Ball up top. I know you're going to say, but it passed. So how can you say ball up top? Ball up top. I told y'all, ain't no way in the world they gonna get away with this. And there you go. America, you just caught another grift. But hey, not to rain on your parade, but this bill actually screws you. But you know, you let people like the pancake critter get you all hyped up, and as we have told you, especially when you deal with the government, the devil is in the details. So you look at this, right? Now this passed in the Senate, it still has to go to the House, right? Okay. And good evening to the room. If you look at this bill, right, it says that the deduction allowed by subsection A for any taxpayer for the taxable year shall not exceed $25,000, right? So you get a tax credit if your tips are $24,999 and lower. You get a tax break. Okay. What they didn't tell you is because they kept arguing saying that he's going to pass no taxes on tips. And I wanted to see if they were bright enough to figure out why I kept saying that this wasn't going to pass. This only applies to cash tips. I'm going to say that again. This only applies to cash tips. You know, the tips that most people don't already declare. Do you understand that this bill just told you that they can surveil you now? They're going to surveil your pockets. This is what y'all are celebrating right now. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Operation Paperclip, Mockingbird, MK Ultra, all that y'all like to talk about as conspiracies, it must be true. Because you fell for this. And didn't ask no question. This is why I said, during the election cycle, you better ask the man these questions when he brings stuff up like this. You got to ask questions. Y'all didn't want to ask questions. Y'all just wanted to be commanding. Now you're qualified for everything that happens. You have to stand on it now. No matter how much it sucks. Because y'all don't listen. Let me go get the Senate bill because y'all got to see this. Let me see. Is this the Senate bill? No, I think this is Ted Cruz's bill. I want the one where, damn. I want the one, here you go. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. I want the one that I had in the thumbnail. Okay, let's see. I can find it. Shit. I don't even remember where I got it from. Let's see, maybe it's in here. Well, this is the same one. Okay, we'll just use this one. So as you see, cash tips, cash. We all know most people don't even use cash no more. The credit card company's still gonna get their lick. But your favorite influencer and content creator that's on the conservative side didn't tell you this. because they didn't read the article. They just saw a headline. They didn't read it. Most people put their tips on credit cards. So all that means nothing. So most of your tips are on credit card anyway. You're already paying tax on it anyway. They said this was supposed to help the baristas. Boy, they about to work extra hard now. And you can't go in your business and say only cash tips accepted, and you ain't never gonna get tipped. They just put y'all in a vice grip. I told y'all to vote them all out, but nobody want to listen to me. All right, there you go. This is hilarious. But we're gonna go to X real fast because you know they were on there. They thought they were doing something impressive by hyping this up because they're too dumb to figure out that they were getting shafted. And not near one of them put up an article. Now you got to notice this for those who are on X. When you get to these accounts, they're never gonna put up an article unless it's something about Trump that they could kiss his ass on. Something like this. They didn't no article. Now Benny Johnson put this up, right? Benny, this is nothing. Ted Cruz said no. Then he said, okay, I'm gonna let y'all got it. I'm not even gonna stop it. Cause he knew. His banker bros said, listen, we gonna keep getting our licks, right? He's like, yeah, this is only on cash tips. They said say less. All right. We gonna put we gonna siphon you the money in the offshore next year. Don't worry. No tax on tips. Okay, now once we get to overtime, y'all gonna find out you're gonna have to work like 60 hours straight pay. They're going to that's what they're gonna do now. I hope you understand this. They're either gonna cap you at 36 hours or they're gonna make you go all the way, right? And probably what America's gonna do is they're gonna have a different tax code for overtime. They're not gonna tax it, but if you meet a certain threshold, you're gonna have to, you might have to pay a penalty. They're gonna penalize you for making money. You watch what I tell you. And we already know about Social Security. They're dooming the system. So here it goes. This is what I was looking for. Here we go. That guy, it's actually not. Because as I just explained, most people don't carry cash anymore. This doesn't apply to credit card tips. It's just for cash tips. Great. So for the month, you got about $200 in cash tips. That's great. You don't have to declare that. What about the thousands you probably made on the credit card? You got to declare that. Here you go. The bill establishes a new tax deduction of up to $25,000 for tips, subject to limitations. The bill also expands the business tax credit for the portion of payroll taxes an employer pays on certain tips to include payroll taxes paid on tips received in connection with certain beauty services. I'm sorry. Remember how I was arguing with them trolls last fall about that? I told them to go ask their accountant to go over how payroll tax works. There you go. But they don't want to listen to me because they tell me I ain't shit. But okay, fine. Under the bill, the new tax deduction for tips is limited to cash tips. Limited to cash tips. Received by an employee during the course of employment in an occupation that customarily receives tips and reported by the employee to the employer for purposes of withholding payroll taxes. Under current law, an employee is required to report tips exceeding $20 per month to their employer. Yeah, okay, that guy, that's fine. That you were former Marine, you mostly got tips. We're talking about a new age now, because I don't know when you were a waiter. That doesn't apply anymore. Most people, when they go to restaurants, they just put everything on the card. They'll rarely leave cash. They knew what they were doing when they passed this. Further, an employee with compensation exceeding a specified threshold of $160,000 in 2025 and adjusted annually for inflation in the prior tax year may not claim the new tax deduction for tips. Finally, the bill expands the business tax credit for the portion of payroll taxes that an employer pays on certain tips to include payroll taxes paid on tips received in connection with barbering and hair care, nail care, aesthetics, and body and spa treatments. Under current law, an employer is allowed a business tax credit for the amount of payroll taxes paid on certain tips received by an employee in connection with providing, delivering, or serving food or beverages. So now they're adding beauty services. Okay, so you were a waiter a year ago. Okay, that's great. Now, you got out right when it's about to get bad. So hopefully you made enough to save up to get that special something that you wanted, because your brethren and sistren are about to feel it. Because y'all got to remember, what's next year, for those who have been here and have listened to me talk about politics for the last 4 years. What's next year? I'm going to let y'all have that one. What's next year? Yes, midterms, but there's something else. Something else that is more prominent in the month of January. What's next year? I can't believe I can't believe the Senate passed this. I can't believe it, but I know they don't want the heat. So for those who don't know what next year is, it'll be the first year of Trump's budget, the budget that he puts together with his team. Because remember, he's working on Biden's last budget. Or whoever the Democrats' budget is, whatever you want to call it. How much you want to bet they're going to change the tax codes again next year? How much you want to bet? Because remember, Biden changed it for the year prior to reflect inflation. He going to change the tax code to reflect this next year. Boy, y'all in trouble. You baristas, you barbers, you servers, you waiters, y'all are in trouble. Some of you truck drivers, because I know y'all get tips, y'all are in trouble. The Uber driver, you are in trouble. How do you allow this? Oh my God. And look, promises made, promises kept. Boy, if that no tax on tips bill passes, I might have to start streaming more. Oh my God. Yellow Flash, you idiot. Because I know who you are. You idiot. That's not what that means. I tell you he dumb. I tell you he dumb. Sir, again, for cash tips, they're giving you a tax credit, right? Which would mean if they're going to institute a new tax credit, they have to change the tax laws. As we've just explained to you, most tips now are on credit cards. They have to declare it regardless. It's visible money. Most people in this country are not about to go change their lifestyle because they changed this law. It's not happening. As we've documented already, and you can attest to this, most people don't even carry cash anymore. And if you look outside at a lot of businesses now, especially the big ones, they're starting to move away from cash. Some of these supermarkets and big box stores, their self-checkout don't even take cash no more. Pretty soon it's going to be the man counters. They're not going to take cash no more. They want to move to a digital society. What about Cash App? Shh. You have to declare that if it's over a certain amount anyway. If you have a certain amount, if you made a certain amount that year, they're going to send you a form. That's already a rule. Venmo's the same thing. PayPal's the same thing. They send you a form. You have to fill it out because it goes past gifts. You have that at that point. You have to go declare gifts. And besides, that's digital money anyway, so they already know. So you can't lie on that. What do you mean you've never heard of anyone moving away from cash? What do you think Apple Pay is? Come on, guy. That guy, we're not doing this. Come on. I understand it's late on a Tuesday night. Come on. We're not going to do that. You really about to tell us that people have not moved away from cash? Okay. All right. This fool said do property taxes. Are you dumb? That's a state thing, number one. And these states are not giving up the lucrative property tax grift. There's no way. There's no way. Wait, the no tax on tips is not an exemption, but a deduction after tips have been taxed. It's only good through 2028. Facts. That was the other thing. It ends when Trump leaves. Sarah, they're willing to take cash because they need the cash. But what I'm trying to tell you is, for services rendered where tips are encouraged, this hurts them. But again, we're moving into a digital society, and that includes cash. Cash is going to be a relatively old concept, probably in the next 30 years. They're right now trying to figure out a way to keep the dollar amount high so they could switch to digital. I just told you how they're going to move away from cash. Digital money. Digital. Look at these fools celebrating this. The devil is in the details, you fools. Oh my God. First off, most of these jobs, you won't even take $25,000 in tips. It's not even going to happen. That guy, you're not understanding. Why do you think they were pushing Bitcoin and crypto so much during the election? That's where they want to move it to. They want to get away from paper money. They want to be able to control you. You can't control somebody that got cash in their pocket. You can't control them. This bill just makes you getting cash tips, makes you subservient. Because if they really cared about you, they would have said, we're going to do it across the board, and that's going to include credit cards. They didn't do that. And this is what I said last fall. This is why I argued with those people, because I knew this was going to happen. And you also forget they can always devalue the dollar anytime they want. Exactly. No tax on tips or overtime is one of the dumbest ideas I ever heard. Why should a server be taxed less than a cook? Oh, man. Well, let's see what they said. Because cooks have to be paid minimum wage. Who told you that? Servers are paid $2.13 an hour, and the rest comes from tips. Okay, if they both make 50,000, do you think it's fair the cook will pay more taxes? You're assuming that. He said not having to pay taxes on tips gives you a bit more earnings, certainly. Conversely, a tip employee every shift is a crapshoot. Okay. And every service as a cook is a crapshoot. Because they can send you home early. Trust me, I've been in plenty of restaurants where they send cooks and wait staff home early because it was slow. Well, correct that guy, but that's why they're boosting up the business payroll tax. They're letting them write that off as a credit. But the fact still remains. Great. He's telling you good. You don't up to $25,000, you don't have to declare your tips. Right? What if you work in a high-end restaurant and you conservatively every month you bring home about $2,500. So at the end of the year you got $30,000. You gotta pay tax on the 5. Plus, in this bill, they also said that after $20, you have to tell your employer, right? So the 1980, no, I'm sorry, the 2480, you gotta go put down now. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Wait till they do their expenses later this year and figure out they're getting shafted. Now again, the House could fail this bill. It could fail it, and this wouldn't even matter. Oh man. We actually do get taxed more. You also got to understand, and maybe you don't know this part. Cooks, yes, they get paid more, right? But most times we do get taxed more. And the stuff that they give you in the package to work there takes away from your earnings, like medical and all that, 401k, if they give it to you. Now I know it don't touch what a waiter gets, but to me, waiters, they have a better advantage because depending on the table you get, you could walk away conceivably with maybe $40 off the table, to as much as 200, depending on the table. I don't think it's balancing. I don't think it's balancing. This bill just made the tip industry, it just put them in the firing line. Yes, you only get the tax exemption if the tips are paid in cash. Yes. Anything on that credit card, you got to declare it off top, which they already do. This is why I said Americans got shafted again. This bill is retarded. This whole concept is retarded. Correct that guy. People barely tip now. Correct. So this is all for naught. If it didn't include credit card, this bill was worthless. That's my whole point. Yes, it's a meaningless bill. This is just them because somebody was going to start asking about the no tax on tips. So they figure they get ahead of it. But they know a lot of Americans are they're not readers. So they're gonna be like, yay, he passed this. They didn't read the details. And as I said when I was arguing with them trolls in fall, I said this makes the business more money. What did I just read, y'all? He's giving businesses a payroll tax credit. Hey, all you trolls that were yelling at me last September, why don't you come in here and come eat this crow? Come on, come eat the crow for me. And I want you to do it with chopsticks, because y'all don't listen. I told y'all this. I just patted myself on the back. That's the sound you heard. Thank you. Yes, Donald Trump makes y'all feel safe and stupid. A conservative will make you feel safe and stupid. A Democrat will make you feel safe and stupid. Because y'all won't go read. You just made businesses more money, which is what he wanted to do. Who is the daddy? Today, y'all daddy is Ted Cruz, because he ain't had no guts. He should have said, this bill is bullshit. I don't want to. He said, y'all can go ahead and send it to the House. I don't want the smoke that's coming with it when people figured it out the griff. But y'all can sit up here and be cool with it. Look what Pancakes wrote about this. Now, Pancakes trying to be smart. Look at Pancakes. This is why we voted for Trump. President Trump's No Tax on Tips Act passed in the House and the Senate. Promises made, promises kept. Now, you know damn well some influencer sent him this in a text message, told him put this up. Because this is the third one I've seen since we've been on here with the same exact words. Well, I didn't say they were going to move away from it this quick. I said it in another 30 years, but yeah. They don't even realize what they just did. How's he getting his? How? They talking about they want him to run for governor next year. How's he getting his? I mean, I guess if you want to say that here, I did make a joke saying that the bank, his banking buddy said we gonna siphon a little bit of money and give it to you for not letting this be a fail, I guess. But I mean, you kind of look at this and you kind of ask yourself, how do you champion this? Like, how do you put this on your mantle as a win? How? It's like y'all skip economics class, but then when somebody educates you on economics, you try to tell us Thomas Sowell, and then we go read Thomas Sowell, and Thomas Sowell's stuff is so antiquated, and it's easily debunkable, but you still bring him up. But it's quite conspicuous that y'all didn't bring him up when he said Trump's tariffs were a bad idea. After we told you the same thing. But okay. Somebody asked if he gets tips. No, but I always pay tipping cats. A lot easier to just put it all on my card. Right. Okay. Whatever. How about mandating overtime for truckers next? No. Remember what I told you? What I tell you, family, last year? What I tell you? This is where they want to get y'all to. They want y'all to be working more hours for straight pay. Because ain't no company in America finna make you work overtime, pay you time and a half, and it's not taxed. Ain't no way in the world. Can't find one. That guy, his tariffs are a bad idea in the long term as well, because again, as we have shown the data and we have shown in countless articles, these countries don't need to deal with us anymore. I just showed an article yesterday that Canada said, okay, we're going to pull back on the retaliatory tariffs, right? We're going to push it to almost zero. But we're doing it to save our economy and make sure it doesn't go in the tank. And we're trying to make ourselves attractive for other suitors. I would not be surprised if Mexico and Canada pull out of the USMCA by next year. I wouldn't be surprised. And they want to go deal with BRICS plus. I wouldn't surprise me. Canada and Mexico are already talking to China. Sheinbaum gonna go see Xi later this year to go do money. Canada trying to go talk to Europe right now. They don't need us. He lied and said, oh, Putin wants to do massive business with us. You know, he's going to take your money and he's going to invest it in BRICS, make them stronger, or we're going to look weaker. But there you go. He just gave over $1 trillion to the Middle East for data in exchange for our data. He took billions back in exchange for our data and to give the Saudis the chance to spy on us. But nobody missed it. Sir, it's not forcing jobs here. Sir, a month ago, I went over article after article with these big corporations that said, we'd love to build back in America, but we can't. It's feasibly impossible right now. You can't force them to come back here. And I gave y'all the solution to bring them back here, but y'all not going to like it. And my crowd didn't like it when I said it. And the people that weren't in my crowd before, when I said it, didn't like that I said it. But since you're new here, I'll tell you. You want to do that? That's fine with me. Are you ready to import the labor that's going to come with it? That's for you, that guy. Since you want all these businesses to come back home, since you said this is going to force them back home, are you going to take in the labor that's going to come with it? Because that labor is not coming, them factories are not coming empty. I just want to know. Now, if you cool with that, then cool. Champion that plan. If you're not, just understand what you're advocating for is that's going to be the consequence. So that's for you, that guy. Let's see if you're about that. I'll be cool with it. You like it, I love it. Difference maker for struggling families in the service sector. No, it's not. No, it's not. Sir, you want to know why they have high tariffs on us? It's a very simple question. Because America's too stupid not to keep the money home. That's why. The world got industrialized after the 70s when they killed Detroit and they killed the Rust Belt. They sent it all over there. You gave, essentially from the 70s on till today, the U.S. empowered the world to build what we needed instead of building at home. And they took our technologies and they took our products, reverse engineered it, created it at a smaller and a cheaper price, sold it back to us for a profit. And America was so stupid because it was coming back quicker and cheaper. They just said, let's keep it going. And now, credit to him, Trump wants to stop it. He can't stop it. It's already there. And if he wants to stop it, he's going to have to pay not only the piper, he got to pay the snakes. And he ain't got that type of leverage. That's why every time he tries to do these deals, it's always in some bullshit sector that America is not going to profit off of, except people on Wall Street. Great. You want to talk about government assistance? Great. We could go do those numbers. Here's the problem. The government allowed that. The government created their own welfare problem, and they're never going to fix it. So we should just leave that part alone. Obama wasn't the only one, DSA. That started way back with Nixon. To be honest, this whole plan started in the 50s. It just, we all remember it started ramping up in the 70s and the 80s. But this was in motion since the 50s. But again, they knew what it was. The second they let them Japanese and European cars over, America's car industry was cooked. And then they was like, listen, you paying your workers $10 an hour? You can make that same car for $6, save yourself $4 per employee per hour. Do you want to do that? And they said, okay. And they manufactured all the parts over there and built the car over there and then put it on a ship, and you had to wait 2 weeks and killed everybody's jobs. Trump is about to kill the tech sector. But the tech giants don't care because they're going to get the money anyway because it's digital now. Google was so happy to have a campus over in Saudi Arabia and the extra billions they're going to invest because they're going to make that back about 5 times. Our data is going to be in Riyadh and Doha and Abu Dhabi. It's going to be beautiful. This is what y'all voted for. Those who voted for Trump. That's what you voted for. Them to take more of our data. Look at this fool. Look at Pancake Critter. That guy, I'm with you. I want to fight for it. It's not feasible. You understand if they did all that, we'd be in a recession right now? Nothing's gonna get out. There's not gonna be. Do you understand right now, that guy? I just want you to understand what I'm about to tell you. They're manufacturing this stuff for cheaper and people still can't buy it. That's crazy. The car is relatively cheaper overseas than here and people still can't buy it. Canada was nice enough to say, we're not going to put tariffs on certain car models. People still can't buy it. Ford tried that employee pricing bullshit. People still can't buy the car. That's crazy. That's crazy. We're done. Look at the Pancake Critter. Y'all gonna be, he dancing for tips right now. That's what he gonna be doing in a few years. Listen, he gonna start begging for donations. I guarantee you. Wait, just wait. When his supplier starts raising prices on him for his pancake mix and that fried chicken batter, you wait. Oh, Kira, you don't remember what we found out yesterday in that bill? He talking about he trying to put $250 registration on electric vehicles and $100 on them hybrids. Jesus. Plus the state. That's just the federal cost. That's not even including the state charge that they charge for that. That's crazy. Well, that guy, I put out the feeler last year when I said vote them all out. Nobody wanted to listen to me. They love their politician. They love their personality. Personality over policy. We could have had a brand new Congress. Sans a few people staying that ran unopposed. We could have had the special interest groups out. We could have had the lobbyists out. We could have been a Congress of the people. They ain't want that. They wanted Thomas Massey, that friggin' clown, back in office. They wanted AOC back in office. The squad. Marjorie Taylor Greene. B6. They wanted B6 back in. They wanted Jasmine Crockett back up in there. And the only reason why they wanted them people back in there so they could have content and something to bitch about. They didn't want to be held accountable for that brand new Congress. But there you go. I care less about Kamala. Fuck her. And RFK, shit. If you think this country was going to elect another Kennedy for president, man. Of course she failed the district, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because it's AOC. She's a personality. Who cares? What happened? Who got blocked? JD's couch? What? What happened? They ain't find no money in it. What happened? Oh, he wrote nigger or something? Damn, Tori, you wrote... Wow, that's crazy. So you just gonna keep writing the same thing. He had Tourette's. And Torian didn't even say one thing all day. He just came in with the stealth block. That's my man. Listen, she's not gonna get governor. Hey, command me. Jamaican, just stay on the book tour. You'll make $4 million. I promise you. Just make sure in the book you tell everybody you're not black. Because you know that's a chapter in there. It's going to be hidden. And then this app's going to be in shambles. And I'm just going to sit there with my feet up. Like I told you so. That guy, I'm fine. I'll have a civil conversation with anybody until you start trying to troll. And then you're going to get it. First, look what they write. Family, it only passed the Senate. Look. In both the House and Senate. Oh, my God. I tell you, they dumb. Let me see if somebody... I want to see if somebody... So, somebody repost... Wait a minute. You reposted your own stuff? Don't tell me you did that. There's got to be a bot. Oh, that's somebody else. Fine. Never passed the House. God, they dumb. What is wrong with these people? How is this keeping his word? He just screwed y'all again. I think this is the wrong comment. Hold on. I think this is the wrong comment. Hold on. Oh, no, it wasn't the same one. Okay. Read articles. Oh my God, they're dumb. You mean the Supreme Court saying that it's okay to go through? Is that what you mean? Democrats released scathing statement on RFK. Who cares? He's a Kennedy. Y'all always got something to say. Look at the pancake critter. If you actually believe that anything the GOP has promised, you're as dumb as the Democrats. Exhibit for tonight. The U.S. Senate no tax on tips bill. Well, somebody actually read the damn bill and figured it out. They cannot cut taxes on Social Security because of the Byrd rule, hence why they made the deduction. He said, this isn't Social Security. Leave it to an AI pick. God, boy. You like that executive or EBT? Children and marital status? Excuse me. God damn. No, it goes to the Senate first. The Senate introduced the bill. A senator introduced that bill. Um, Wait, I think I know about the EBT one. Uh, oh, this one, illegal immigrants. Okay, that's great. You can't support it. You're not a citizen. Get the fuck out. Go figure it. Go get it out the mud. Come on now. Damn. They'll enact a law through executive order to seize estimated tax amounts due from bank accounts. Unless you get out of the system, you're still controlled. Just imagine if all the EBT cards stop working. It would be beautiful. No, you're going to have more crime on the street. So it's not going to be beautiful. I love how they never get that part. Go ahead. Hey, since y'all want to play purge games all day, go ahead. Lock off EBT for a day. And see if crime don't skyrocket. I don't know if it's allergies. Children 7 and under unless you're married? Huh, let's see. Let's see what that is. The Family First Act would raise the tax credit to $4,200 for children under 6 years old and $3,000 for older. Okay, and how much is that going to cost, right? And how much is that going to cost us in taxes next year? Because if it's going to make me, you might as well just keep it. I'm good with it. I've been dealing with it for what, 3 years now, not having it. We're okay. Listen, it always amazes me that these people figure out that government lied to them. It's always funny. You just figured out that the government lies to you. Republicans have put forth legislation that lowers the age of a minor from age 18 to 7. I mean, once a child turns 7, the parents will be kicked off SNAP if they don't meet the work requirements. Even with a change of this magnitude, Republicans have left the room and refused to defend this policy. Okay, and you expected them to? They expected this. Hello, Jerry. They expected this. They expected Republicans to stand on what they said, just like everybody expects Democrats to stand on what they say. Oh my God, Nene, I'm telling you, we could do a whole live called "When Trusting the Government Goes Wrong," and the first person we're gonna talk about is Ashley Babbitt. Because they were told that Trump told them we was going to look into it and allow the lawsuit to go through, and then said, okay, we're going to pay you out $5 million. Take that 30 off because I got this crime bill I want to pass and I need all my lawyers. So take this measly $5 million and go somewhere. And her family took it. The government's so gangster, they just lied to you, right? And said that Trump went over to the Middle East for peace. He went over there to secure the bag. And he met Halliburton at the airport. They finna ramp up a war over there because Trump don't got a war on his ledger. This is going to be great. Who's ready for that T attack in July? Who's ready for it? Nasty. Oh, by the way, they turned on DEI Kash Patel. They turned on him. The working from Vegas, then that wasn't it. He ain't arrest nobody for Jeffrey Epstein. They never get it. He sat in front of Fox News and looked like a deer in the headlights. And they were praising this. I was like, wait, what? That man lying to your faces right now. But they was cool with it. Look, Daily Wire had to go put this out. Hey, Daily Wire, now you're behind a paywall, so I already know you lied. Oh, wait, this is a free article? Look at that. Let me look. Let me see if you're going to tell the truth. No. Oh, you ripped this from somebody. Yeah, it looked like you ripped this from somebody. How you going to protect the hard-earned dollars of blue-collar workers? How? How? Now, see, this is a lie. Cruz office says the bill exempts cash tips, cash credit, and debit card charges and checks from federal income by allowing taxpayers. That's a lie, because that's not what it says in the bill. You see how they lie? Ted Cruz said no and then lied about what was in it. Damn. How does your office lie about that? We read the bill. It said cash. See, this is why nobody respects the Daily Wire no more. How do you tell this lie? Ain't no way in the world a bank is going to go for this. Why would you lie like that? They get a percentage off the tip. Just like they get a percentage off you using the machine. I can't believe Daily Wire lied like that. Wow. I got to figure out a way to change my commission to tips and get in on this. You don't want to do that. You really think they're not going to Never mind. They probably think that. Never mind. I'm sorry. I need to go get some rest. But we got that 9 a.m. live where we're gonna break down that RG3 Ryan Clark debacle. So I might just leave it here. Daily Wire is a piece of shit. That's crazy. So either Ted Cruz's office is lying blatantly or Daily Wire added this. I don't know which is which, but whatever. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I try to be better next time. I will see y'all in about 10 hours. We're going to have fun. And it's on StreamYard, so we're going to have fun. We're going to have clips. We're going to have drops. It's going to be hilarious. And we're going to go over everything. In the span of 90 minutes. We're going to go over everything. So, y'all, take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.